Sixth grade, you can be grateful. This is your project number 3, but you can be grateful because really what they're trying to do here, well, the first 3 projects you've had, the second one was, that was the hardest one. That really wasn't that difficult, but things do change eventually here. So what I want you to do is I want you to focus on this, what they call and we call it colored pencil rendering, but it's from a wood cut. Basically, it's a well, how would you describe it? They would use a stamp in a sense. They would make it out of wood. They would make the rendering backwards, and then they would stamp it with the colors that they wanted for each part over top of each other. And so, anyway, here basically read pictures from wood, page 10. And so you go back on that, and if you're watching this video, we can watch it right now. It says pictures from wood. The use of wood blocks made it possible to produce many copies of a single work of art. Julius Schnorr von Karelsfeld, a German artist of the 1800s, made hundreds of illustrations depicting Bible stories. He first drew the picture onto a block of wood, then another craftsman used special tools to cut away the wood in the spaces between the lines of the picture. After the woodcut was finished, the printer inked the block's surface and pressed it against specially prepared paper. The impression was then pulled from the wood block and set aside to dry. Although the finished print appears on paper, the picture is called a woodcut. One of the most interesting things about block wood engraving is that the artist had to visualize how the finished print would appear. The final print was not an exact copy of the cut design, it was a mirror image. So observe the woodcut on page 11 to see areas with ink that printed dark and cut away areas with no ink that were left white. It says, read Luke 10, 30-35 and observe the woodcut of the Good Samaritan again. So it asks you, do you see the thieves among the trees? And the unfortunate traveler lies wounded in the roadside. In a distance, a priest and a Levite refused to concern themselves. And do you think these religious leaders were too busy to give aid? And it goes through the story there. But the idea is this, and so here is the woodcut, and of course you have to imagine the woodcut the way it is. It's going to end up flipped, basically, and you can see where this part is right here. That's open. That's white here because there's no ink for it, and so it gives you the idea of how they used to do particular types of art. And so what we have here then is what I want you to do, and this is basically because it's basically about coloring in and making it look good, making it look decent. And so you want to find, and for instance, you see that they use different colors, so you're going to have to use many different colored pencils for this particular thing. And what you can do is you can start looking for your greens, because you got a lot of green here that you've got to cover. And I'm not sure what that would match best. Sometimes I like to, I think I might use it out here in this this part. So, I start coloring my green area, especially the dark. I'm going to stick with that first because that's my one of my darker greens there. And so I'm going to start shading in those areas. And see, this is actually the woodcut itself. As far as the this is the print of the woodcut and the ink that they use to be able to do that. You can see the donkey itself, and the picture. That's the same thing from page number 10 that you had on there. So I've got my dark green here now. With the background helps it to